Hey guys, welcome back to the CulePodcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, we're going to be talking about Dani Olmo. We're going to be giving an update in regards to his situation. And then as well, we're going to be talking about Robert Lewandowski and Eric Garcia. Eric Garcia, a player who we haven't talked about on the channel in recent videos. And, that's on the topic for today's video. But guys, before I get started on the video, make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. Everything's posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way you guys can stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. But guys, let's get straight into the video and let's talk about Dani Olmo, a player that both Barcelona and Xavi, they are very, very interested. And as you guys know, Barcelona, in their list of priorities, they have a CDM, a left wing, a fullback, and potentially a striker as the priorities for the summer. Those are the positions that Barcelona want to reinforce. And in that left wing position, the name of Dani Olmo has appeared, and it appears that Dani Olmo is going to be that winger. He's on the short list. And the report from Ravello, it basically supports that. Barcelona want a winger and have already contacted the agent of Dani Olmo. He has a release clause of 16 million euros, and RB Leipzig are not willing to reduce it. Now, here's my issue with this report from Ravello. I understand that Barcelona, they are interested in Dani Olmo, but the thing is, if Barcelona they want Dani Olmo to be their winger, I think that's going to be terrible business. I'm already very critical of Barcelona's pursuit in Joshua Kimmich, even though I believe he's very, very good. Joshua Kimmich isn't an out-and-out pivot. In Bayern Munich's arguably most important game of the season at home, they played Joshua Kimmich as a right back. You're telling me that Barcelona's top defensive priority it played as a right back against Real Madrid. That's just absolutely absurd. And now Barcelona, they're targeting a supposed left winger who's not even a winger. He's an attacking midfielder. And you know, just from these reports, I'm not liking the way Barcelona, they're already starting to look in the summer, and they're planning to reinforce the squad. I just think that Barcelona, they're making a mess of things right now, and I don't think that they have the priorities straight. Even though I agree that Dani Olmo is a very, very good player, I don't think that he's the winger that Barcelona, they do need. If Barcelona, they want a winger, it's clear and simple. You want a player of, for example, of Nico Williams' profile, just like that. A player who can be direct, who has pace, who's very good in space, and who can be his man 1v1. Those are the requisites in order to be a winger. And if you can't do that, then I'm sorry. Barcelona, they should not be going out for you. But guys, do you guys agree with me? Do you guys think that Barcelona, they should be going for Dani Olmo, knowing that he has a 60 million euro release clause in RB Leipzig? They're very hesitant on reducing that. But now, guys, I'm going to be talking about Eric Garcia, because Eric Garcia, he gave an interview to Sport, and he basically talked about life in Girona, life at Barcelona, his time at Barcelona, and everything like that. But let's start on Eric Garcia's quotes on how his 2 years at Barcelona have gone so far. The first year was complicated in terms of the team dynamics. There was a change in coach. Obviously, he came in for Ronald Koeman, but then relatively after, Xavi coached him. Then we picked up and entered the Champions League. The second season was very good, and we won the league. On an individual level, I didn't get all the minutes I wanted, so that's why I made the decision to go out on loan. Now, Garcia, he talked about the adaptation because he played for City, he played for Barca, and now he's playing for Girona. In the end, the three teams, City, Barca, Girona, have a very similar style of play. Of course, having played in these teams helps. Everyone wants to have the ball and attack the opponent's goal with each with its own particularities. Just how do you want to attack it? Just how the structure is modeled, like how the model is structured. But now, guys, I want to be talking about two important pieces of quotes from that interview, and it's whether Xavi wants him to stay and what will happen at the end of the season. That's right, it happened on the last day due to fair play reasons, and I was clear that if I left, it was to go to Girona. And Xavi, in that quote, he wanted him to stay. What will happen at the end of the season? I'm going back to Barca. I have a contract. I'll return when the season ends, and we'll talk to the club to see what's next. For now, I'll return to Barca. It's my club. Obviously, I've been very good at Girona. They treated me well, especially if we achieve what we're about to. It will depend on the club. I know I have 2 more years on my contract, and I have to return. We haven't talked yet. We will see. So right there, guys, you see Eric Garcia's intention to return to the club. He will return to the club. He will have a chance during preseason just to see how things develop. And a recent report, that emerged in the media, it was basically saying that if Ronald Araujo was to leave, Xavi would want to keep Eric Garcia. And, that is just absolutely crazy because I don't think Eric Garcia is, at Ronald Araujo's level. But if Ronald Araujo were to leave, for example, for a big, big fee, then, Eric Garcia, he could be a replacement for the Uruguayan. But now moving on to one Barcelona player to another, I want to be talking about Robert Lewandowski because Robert Lewandowski, he had an interview with the club in which he basically talked about his time at the club, and then as well as his goal scoring streak that he's been on in recent weeks. And this is how it starts. It makes me feel very proud to score so many goals for a club like FC Barcelona in a year and a half. When I think about my goals and the time I spent at this club, I feel very proud. Each of these goals has a special meaning for me, and it is a privilege to score goals for this club. I have to say that I have never thought about the number of goals I was going to score, but if you see these numbers, wow, that's 50 goals for Barcelona in 1 year. It could always be better, but those are already very quick and very good numbers. Of course, I think I can score more and more, but when I look back, I can feel proud. And now talking about getting close to surpassing historic legends at the club, such as Villa and Thierry Henry. It is special because when I see other names that have reached those numbers like Thierry Henry or David Villa, who are incredible, and some are the best in history, and being at the same level or scoring more goals than them is incredible. That was the place I wanted to be, the idols I heard when I was young. It was something I dreamed up as a child, and now it has come true. I feel like I'm part of this incredible club, and it's fantastic to be playing here at this level. And the last quote I want to talk about is this one. It means a lot to be a Barca player. Sometimes it is difficult to find exactly the word, but it is pride, happiness. It is special to be here and be the striker of this type of club because of its history. When people talk about this club, you realize that it's the biggest club in the world, and being part of this makes me better. It gives me more energy to work hard and do something special. Now, guys, in that interview, you clearly see the admiration and respect that Robert Lewandowski has for Barcelona. And those are not words from someone who, wants to leave the club. And we talked about this in yesterday's video, how Robert Lewandowski, even if he's offered like tons of money, he would not be leaving Barcelona or heading to Saudi or heading to the MLS. And so Robert Lewandowski, it's most likely that he's going to be staying for one more season. And whether that's extended or anything like that, we will have to see. But if Robert Lewandowski he's able to continue scoring goals, I'm all for him staying. Just we can't have a repeat of what happened in 2023, where just things were not going well for him on a personal level. But talking about Robert Lewandowski and him staying, a player who can be affected is Vitor Roque, because in the couple games that Barcelona have until the end of the season, Robert Lewandowski, he will want to play, and that's because he wants to win the Pichichi Award. And because of that, it's going to be very hard for Vitor Roque to get minutes. And, speaking of Vitor Roque, a recent report from Diario AS says that Vitor Roque refuses to leave Barcelona on a loan. And so, that makes things very, very tricky and interesting, because you have Robert Lewandowski, who wants to be playing every single minute to win that Pichichi Award. But then at the same time, Vitor Roque wants to get minutes and he doesn't want to leave on loan. And so what's going to happen between these two players? How is Xavi going to manage this situation? Is Xavi going to actually say, hey, Vitor Roque, I don't trust you as my secondary striker, leave on loan? Or is he just going to just leave him on the bench to rot? But guys, we talked about the Vitor Roque situation, on previous videos. If you guys haven't, been up to date, go check out my other videos. I have them up on the channel. But it's very complicated, that Victor Roque situation. I don't think Barcelona, they're managing that very well. But now looking at how Victor Roque doesn't really want to leave the club, it's going to become even more messy in the summer. But guys, that was it for the video for today. Definitely let me know your guys' thoughts on everything that I've discussed on today's video. What do you guys make of Barcelona's pursuit for Dani Olmo? And then as well, what do you guys make of Eric Garcia's quotes in regards to him wanting to stay? And then lastly, Lewandowski's admiration and respect for Barcelona. Definitely let me know your guys' thoughts on everything that I've discussed on the comments, and I'll catch you guys all on the next video. Peace out.